Well, this is interesting. Oh,
we are on camera.
We had a little bit of a blackout there.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with that other game that the entire world's playing right now. The road to Odense continues.
Yeah.
And with that, a victory from G2 on the map of Inferno. Somewhat expected, not really expected all the way, but nonetheless, we have had a long, drawn-out affair here, Chad.
Well, look, I think this one here, we did speak about the fact that North and G2 are both very proficient on this map. And there's something that we always talk about, Trace. There's a theme that we're always covering, and that is the impact of AWPs on a map like this. Now, I've been doing some work on the iPad. You know me. I love to have a crack at the old iPad doobie. And if we can bring her up, I want to actually highlight the AWP kills that were made in this game using that little device.
Yes, that one little device there.
Here we go. Let me just zoom this out. We gotta just make this work. This is from the HRTV.org heat maps here. I'm going to keep zooming out.
Maybe we don't get the forum threads in there.
Oh, it's everywhere. But anyway, the point of the story here is let's get rid of it. It's not working. It's not my friend right now. I'm going to have to tinker with it more in the future. Just close it down. Shut it down. Shut it down.
In fact,
let's start again. Let's turn around. Hold up. Let's do this one again. Okay. I'm going to count to 3, and then we're going to do this segment again. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Intel Esports Arena here live for the Pro League Season 8, day number 8. In fact, 117 days until the Katowice Major. Of course, an Intel Extreme Masters event, but the Supreme Major is that, and that puts us about halfway through the season. Now, given us halfway through the season, now we're halfway through the night. We've just saw the likes of G2 beating up on a North there on Inferno. 16-8 was your score line, and Chad Burchill, why was this one not as close?
Yes, thank you for that lovely summary there, Trace. Now, looking at this game, looking at the first half, it looked very close indeed. There was a lot of back and forth, and that's normally the way when you find yourself with an 8-7 scoreline. But when we flicked on over, that is where the individuals from North really stepped up. The multi-kill potential was there. They were shutting G2 out. They tried a bunch of different executes, a bunch of different moves, but weren't really able to get anything done on that second half. It was actually the other way around. It was their T-hub, which was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great CT showing here from, I guess, not North. That's for sure.
Neither team.
Yeah.
Neither team. I think we've been seeing a bit of this lately. You know, when we first saw this economic change come in, and we were watching in the first night of Pro League of this week, which was on Tuesday, one of the things we noticed was a lot of the games seemed very T-sided. We flicked on to day number 2, and it kind of balanced out a little bit more. But now it's been, you know, an up and down affair, and we're starting to settle in and see these streaks where maybe the team will win the pistol, they convert the second, and then some teams are going on 5-round streaks. That seems to be a common trend that's coming in. Whereas tonight, it wasn't that same affair with this North versus G2 game. It was, yeah, no, just the North guys rolling on over them, making it seem relatively easy.
Yeah. I don't know why I've had it backwards just about this entire time. Not sure where my brain's at. I think I need another Americano. Maybe not nearly as watered down this time because that's...
You mean with the halves thing?
Yeah, that's wrong. I was thinking about the whole game. I'm pretty sure this entire segment has been a sham, Chad. But we can actually take a look at the numbers because this will start to make a little more sense. 60-8 in the favor of North as they were the triumphant ones here, and the numbers are not going to lie.
They both have
really putting some numbers down there in 121 ADR, Chad.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He came online for these guys in a big way. He's a player who we've looked at as more of, you know, we thought he was going to be the supportive type guy, but the level of impact that he has been able to have, especially since moving to this North roster, has been seen. And it was theorized by Thorin when we were doing the Star Series desk that Ave, who is now the coach of North, who was once upon a time the coach of the North Academy, had seen some things and really knew how to use Gate and see how he could be implemented into the team. Thus the transition from him back from Optic to the North Squadron. So maybe there's some truth to that because he seems to be fitting in here better than he has in any of the other rosters we've seen recently.
In fact, every time we have Pimp in the studio, this is a player that he always speaks in high regard of. Shout out Jacob Binnicky, whatever you're doing, wherever you're doing it. Probably opening that hot dog stand. But in all reality, he always talks highly of this player as being this sort of a promised player coming up through the Danish scene, that he would have a ton to show. And this, in fact, is a little bit of a testament to that.
I think, you know, that he's been having impact in games, not necessarily needing to be that carry player, but we have seen him with multi-kills in this regard here. He's put up the highest in the server. I think it was all 5 members out-statting, or out-ranking, I guess, if you want to look at it in that way, every single other member on the side of G2. Nobody really stood up and put in a lot of that fight. You know, normally when I see Kenny S on a map like this, I expect him to be very pokey, very pretty with that AWP. I think he only had 6 AWP kills within this one, and Cadian, on the flip side of things, only had 10. And, you know, not a lot of opening kills came from these guys guys, with the AWPs, this is why we always talk about, and this is what I wanted to highlight but have been unable to do so, is the impact of the AWPs, right? So you look at them, you go, why do we say it's so difficult for them to get opening kills? Well, because the choke points are so tight. There's so much utility usage here. There was only 3 opening kills with the AWP, all of which came from Cadian.
Chad, let's just release the nukes. That's where we're going next. That's going to be our next matchup here between the likes of G2 and North. Heading over to Nuke Town, or maybe not Nuke Town, but in fact, just Nuke. That will be the battleground because, honestly, it wasn't that close of an affair here in the first map, but perhaps it could be a different story going into this
No,
next
I don't think so. I think this is going to continue through. You know what we saw last night coming out? I know, and I'm just going to set the record straight here. With what we saw from North last night against the Ninjas in Pajamas, they look clinical on that map. They look absolutely fantastic. Sure, it took them to 16-9 to be able to close out, but they had a really good first half. They're on the precipice of finishing it very quickly. The problem was, you know, that NIP decided to put up a bit of a fight, put up that CT wall, and made them really hustle for it.
Well, making them hustle for it is something that we do around here as well. Of course, making you guys come in and hustle as fast as you possibly could. We have brought the commentators in because it's almost time to get into the game. Now, what did you guys see in terms of that first match there on Inferno?
I saw Gade go absolutely mental, and that was pretty cool. That's a good sight to see again when you remember the fact that he's not even on this team to supposed to be one of those star fraggers, but he dropped 30 kills up against G2, clinical procedure, and now moving forward. I mean, if he can repeat that performance, if the other guys can step up, again, we're on Nuke, so I'm already counting G2 out for this. They've not even played this with this roster in the last 3 months, so yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm worried.
I'm excited too, and that's about 3 of us excited. Maybe the 4th one's excited, and only time will tell. Thank you, Harry and Hugo. We'll let you guys get back into it here.
Yeah, they mentioned the hustle. We're going to see the hustle between these two teams. The Russell hustle, that's what they called it. How's that? Pretty bad?
Yeah, probably.
Pretty terrible? That's fine, dude. Ideal in terrible memes. Hugo, you're the most terrible meme I've ever met in my life. We're about to head in to this game. How are you feeling? You've already said you don't think G2 stand a chance, but they're over on that CT side. That's some confidence. Perhaps.
Well, I'll explain in a second, but North are really kicking up the pace for the pistol. They're the ones with the confidence. The smoke down towards the main position has allowed them to get up onto this A bomb site, already killing the only player committed. Body's trying to come in through the heaven, and no one's covering his plant. That's a big mistake. Gabe will trade it back and at least pull it in the favor of North, but for a second there, it looked like an opportunity for G2. Shox is still up firing off shots, and Smits has found one from main. What on earth is happening here?
Yeah, North maybe getting a bit too big for their boots in this round. Valder has at least pulled it back, and Shox taking this fight onto AZ outside, tags him up. Now going to be starting to wrap around. It's a 1v2 from Shoxy here on Nuke. And as he finds the opener, now just has to try and deal with Valder. This bomb, by the way, yet to go down, was never planted by North, and Shox holding the angle. Valder does walk into it, but both players dodge death for the time being. Valder waiting ever so patiently. Shox, though, even more so, and he's going to go walking into his crosshair. So much damage done. Valde brought down to a measly 2 HP. Oh, sorry, Shock's down to 2 HP. Valde up on 36, so he can only take 1 shot. As he hops down the vents, this bomb plant now looks to come in for North. They finally get that bomb planted.
I like how he at least guarantees the money, right? He shouldn't be losing this round anyway, but it's come far too close to be taking the risk. So a guaranteed extra $800 is nice for Valde, but he's not going to win the round. Shox somehow bailing his team out there. What a ridiculous 3K from him to actually be able to keep that alive. That's all down to them not covering the bomb plant there from that A bomb site initially, allowing Shox to get in through the heaven, get a kill, started off, and then just started falling apart from North there on the A bomb site. Smiths, he gets a kill from main because the smoke wears out, and North, by that point, they should have had the bomb down pretty early on, considering there was only 1 man on A, and they killed him without a fight. So, yeah, that's a real fail from North there. And again, one of the worries of this game, one of my few worries for North, is that, as was said on the desk, they stomped CT side Nuke yesterday versus NIP. They got 12 rounds, but they took a bit of time to close it out. Their T side was not as clinical as their first half. So not to say that they won't probably win this game, but again, like, maybe there's an opportunity there for G2. The pistol round has also certainly helped them start off things in a strong way. So yeah, I don't want to completely count them out, but it's just really hard banking on a team that don't play this map versus a Danish team.
Well, they've gotten off to a good start here in this anti-eco at the very least. Interestingly is Kenny with the AWP in an anti-eco, which is not usually something that we see. I'm not even entirely sure how he had the money to get it, but they bought it out. Likely dropped it by Shocks, you would imagine. Either way, it's an interesting adaptation. They bought this out very early on. The only issue is you really cannot afford to lose it. Only going to be good for one. Valdet there to pick it up, and now it's Kenny with this very expensive weapon up in the heavens. He's going to fall prey to AZ, and this round becomes a lot closer than it ever should have been. They have to save that AWP, and Shocks will at the very least. But only 2 players surviving in a round where G2 had everything and North had nothing more than a few P250s.
Yeah, so the rebuys come through for G2, but it won't matter too much. They have basically everything they want. And a shotgun, which, hey, not even a bad idea on Nuke. You see Oscar use that quite a lot for the mouse sport, so I mean, even get right on NIP, but didn't really have much of a CT game yesterday for him to pull that out. But let's see what Body's got with this gun. Again, this is a map where it's not as useless overall, right? Because we talk about shotguns being good for certain positions, but bad on maybe retaking, for example. But in this map, even retaking and down in those B halls, this shotgun's going to be pretty lethal. So Body can use that throughout the round. But let's see where North go and see if this shotgun comes into any kind of play, because we have a lot of smokes going towards that yard position early on. North probably not going to commit with their whole team here. We usually see them send 1 or 2 players down just to try and be a nuisance on that B bomb site. Nades coming through for G2 and some spray through the smoke, but Cadian's the only man hitting that lower site. He may even come back and wrap main. In fact, that's exactly what he's doing. It will be the A play after all.
Ooh, but Body gonna farm up some cash. With that shotgun, that's a lot of money made, and a couple of fully bought players dropped as well. Then they go into the moors of Shocks down here in the vents. G2 going to be going 3-0 up early on, getting off to a good start. And this is one of the impressions that we kind of could have picked up yesterday when we saw North versus NIP on this map. If you recall, they're able to go 13-2 at the end of that first half, Hugo, on their CT side. When North moved into the T side, though, it ended up, what, I think 16-9 in the very end, with NIP going on a little bit of a run, making it a bit more uncomfortable than perhaps they would have liked. You know, from that, I guess we could look that this North T side really isn't anything to be all too afraid of, and G2 certainly aren't looking afraid of it right now. It's just AZ left up, 1v4. He has a Tech 9. He doesn't have the bomb, doesn't have any teammates. He's all alone. Okay, found one. Uh-oh, AZ getting back into this now in a 1v2.
Yeah, he doesn't have a rifle, though, so this next fight to the Heaven player is going to be the most difficult of the above. Ooh, just going for anything here, but his teammate's going to be moving in to try and sweep this one up. That's Body. Hazy not going to spot it, and Body's going to start to get a bit closer. Shows his face. You don't want to close a range here versus AZ too much. Body doesn't need to push this one. He does know that AZ's under-equipped for this fight, so Body gets rid of him in the end, and that will at least be silenced by G2. But again, a hard eco for North, and they get a few kills in it, 3 of them. It's going to come back to haunt G2 if North can follow up and win a consecutive rifle round to actually break that economy of this French side. But easier said than done, Harry. Again, maybe just because G2 haven't played this map, they could have been putting time on it in secret, you know, behind not enemy lines, but at least on the prac server rather than on the officials. Okay, right now 4-0 CT, very good start. Let's see how long this continues though, because North have got full guns and an AWP on Cadian as well.
Yeah, the one thing I'm seeing is, you know, if you think back to yesterday, now that North NIP game, maybe a bit of an anomaly, right? It was very one-sided in favor of North initially. Maybe they'd already mentally checked out, anticipating that game was over. But the reason why I reference it is it took North 7 rounds before they were able to pick up 1 on their T side. So we need to see a little bit more than that from them here. G2 getting off to an absolutely stellar beginning, but Kirby and Gade might be enough to find North their first T side round here in the rifles. It's going to be a bomb out towards this A bomb site. Now we saw in the pistol, they had a favorable scenario. That bomb didn't go down though on the back, and no one keeping an eye on Heaven. This time, there's no such problem. The bomb is planted. It's a 3v3, and there's still a lot of utility left up here on the North boys. They re-smoke out towards main. And that's going to pressure G2. They know this. That time's ticking on down. And by the time that smoke fades, there's only going to be about 20, 15 seconds left to go ahead and try and get that defuse. So now they go barreling on in, and the shots to open up. AZ doing what he can to keep North in this, but Kenny's going to find the shot. And now Cadian, the IGL, the AWPer, the man at the helm for North, trying to keep them in this. And that Molotov might have done it. It's forced them off the defuse, and there's no time. It is going to be the end of the round, and that'll be North picking it up. Cadian holds his own in the clutch.
That is so infuriating for G2 there. North throw 3 separate smokes in main to cut off the retake. You see G2 set up, ready and waiting, going, okay guys, let's get ready, wait for the smoke. Oh, another one's come down. It's fine. We'll wait 15 seconds, we'll come in. Oh, another smoke. And then they just had to burst through with flashbangs. And while they do get the first kill back into the site and put them in a really good spot, again, that Molotov just wins the round for North. So great play from Cadian. And yeah, no chance for G2 to actually get that defuse on, because they wasted all their utility trying to actually get back into that bomb site rather than have a smoke for the bomb. And of course, not to blame them by any means. That's a pretty unpredictable situation to be in. But nice utility usage from North to actually keep G2 out of that round, especially with 2 of 3 of their players retaking from main. 4-1 here. G2 not out of the woods yet. They can always bounce back and try and get that reset. Alternatively, North, they've given a bit of a kick to the economy of G2, so that's why we see the save here. Again, that eco round where AZ goes and gets a couple of kills and makes it a 2-on-1. That's actually come back to hurt G2 in quite a big way. So look at this ramp stack. 4 players here. We've got the entirety of North running in. This could be a bit of a meat grinder. Kenny S is close with the CZ. He's trying to find an angle, and he does get one, but runs out of ammo. Knife in his hand, but Valdi saves his teammate and sprays on for a little bit more. Kiebi, actually Cadian dropping that player with 2 points of health remaining. And Body, he tries to cut off this B play, but he's too late to the party.
Yeah, that bomb just going down now, and Cadian, doesn't even matter, holds the angle. So he'll delete Body and cement a second round on the board for the Danes. Everyone's second favorite group of Danes, maybe. And now the buy comes back in here for G2, Hugo. They're going to have the AWP out on Kenny. The Alligator up for Body. Rifles for the rest of the gang. Defuse kit on Kenny as well. And North, looking like they want to try and play a faster round in towards ramp. This could catch shots off guard. He's only good for 1. And now this is going to leave a lot of pressure on this lone defender down here inside of this B bomb site. As suddenly he's getting pressured. That's Kenny springing into action with this AWP. He's also the man with the kit. Now one player's already gotten up and past him. That's the bomb on the back of Kiebi as he bounds into this bomb site. And the plant does come in. So it's G2 on the clock.
Oh, that flash just missed, and even though Kiebi peeks past it, Smiths falls back and waits for his team, setting up for the retake rather than for an individual effort. And finally he goes down. Kenny in the meantime dropping Cadian up on ramp with the AWP. 2 men left up for North. Kiebi has a crossfire with his teammate up on ramp, and that smoke again. North so good with his utility in the post plant. That completely cuts G2 out of the window. They have to go back to the door instead. Existence runs through to his own death, and that's why you don't run through smokes, but it's just 1 player left up, and that is enough. AZ, 3 kills there in the post plant. And North pick up the round all off of that play. Great work from AZ. Shuts down Existence through the smoke, and then after his teammate gets traded, easy, quick burst kills. That's a really nice round from North.
Yeah, and this has been a real resurgence here for the Danes. You know, it was looking like they were going to get off to a pretty gritty start on a map that they look good on and have looked good on historically. You know, obviously with slight changes to their lineup, but is North fast playing in towards A? They should be finding a 4th here. They're only up against the pistols of G2, and to try as they might, nothing really going their way. Smiths left in a 1v4 has managed a couple of kills, and Smiths will finally get dealt with by Valde, but he makes that a very expensive round at the very least.
Yeah, again, crazy how it's only just him getting damage there when G2 have a 5-man setup. Smith's getting 2 of the 3 kills in that round, but as you said, not enough. North will get away with guns, so AWP comes back out as they know they're up against rifles, and Kenny is going to have the exact same weaponry here on the CT side. I want to see this all battle, see if Cadian can step up to the mark here as we head into round number 9. That AWP already will be outside for Cadian, but Kenny, where is he right now? He's up in heaven, so he's not exactly challenging too aggressively, and knowing that North don't really push outside without those wall of smokes means that Kenny might not be seeing too much from this position unless he gets a bit more aggressive, and he trades positions with Existence as well, moving back into the yard. Might be able to spot Kirby here as well, but no, just avoiding him behind that bit on the roof. AZ runs from the nade, and he does just survive with 18 HP, but they definitely know he's in the vents and down on that B bomb site as well. Still a 5-on-5, but despite AZ getting this B control, the lack of health is going to be the main problem. It's spraying down on ramp, only for one. Kenny's still here, though, and do they expect it? Because no one's watching this position. Cadian has yet to push out from the ramp, though, and actually North going to forfeit it. They leave. The only thing is that Gade's still here with a bomb right now, so they have to go in and help him retrieve, or get out of that position later, rather. Kenny, yes, has got to move now as he hears a player coming in from his back line, but giving away his position means now Gade can be affording to strike. 3-on-3.
Yeah, Gade just lying in wait, ready to strike at a moment's notice, like some sort of praying mantis down towards hell here. And he might actually catch the timing. Kenny just looking away, and now Gade, does he go for the knife? No, he's going to go ahead and wrap around, finds both frags up in the heavens, and Gade, a monstrous play there. He's opened up the A-bomb site. He's locked in this round for North. The bomb plant going to come through with seconds to spare. And that there, fantastic discipline from Gade, fantastic foresight as well, to have the confidence to skirt around Kenny, check for the players inside of the bomb site first, and then find them both. Shock's left in a 1v3, and there should be no way back into this round for him now.
Yeah, what a performance from Gade again. As we just saw him back on that previous map of Inferno, he is just styling right now. Big 3K on this round. And Shox, he's not going to be able to save, because look at this player in CT spawn. Look at Cadian. Oh no, he missed a shot. Shox has got an opportunity here, and he knows exactly where Cadian is. Bit of a tag, but AZ comes in to bail out the captain. Cadian thanking his lucky stars for his team there. 5-4 for North, and this T side is starting to kick into overdrive. As you said, Harry, it took 7 rounds for them to actually find their first rifle round, apart from the pistol and conversion against NIP on the T side. So while it took them 4 rounds this time, that's an improvement, because 4 for G2, and then North bounced back with 5 in a row. We've got a full nade set up for the CT side to go towards this yard, but how much can it really find? Cadian's low, but that'll be about it. They didn't even get a kill from it, unfortunately. And this is where North now know where the entirety of G2 sit. And they climb over the silo and start dishing out the damage. Ooh, nice shot.
Yeah, there seemed to be a 6th round on the board for North. And yeah, I mean, I was kind of originally questioning, you know, would we see a similar T-side performance to what we saw yesterday versus NLP? Obviously, we never really got to see North kind of tested in the conventional circumstances. It was a game they were very much on the finish line of already, so that always kind of puts an asterisk by a team's performance. Over on one side, you know, we got to see what, like, I want to say 10 rounds of their T side, which is quite a few, right? But they were up 15 to 2 before, you know, so there was kind of less riding on it at that point in time. Now, pause cooled on in here. This North T side thus far has convinced me very much so. We currently see them set up 6-4, and we know how strong the North CT side is. That's the biggest problem right now for a G2 fan. You know, if you're watching this, you're thinking, don't worry, the Frenchmen and the boys, they can still come back in this second half. Well, you know, North are pretty damn solid on this CT side, so I wouldn't be too sure. You want to be getting as many rounds as you can, and right now, the fact that North could very much be winning out this half is a worrying prospect if you're G2.
Double AWP as well, not the most common nuke setup, but let's see what it achieves. Problem is North going so far, so this might not be the best advice. Luckily, Existence bails out the man in main, Kenny S, after taking down AZ, who dropped in from the top of the main position. Kierby is now in a blink of an eye alone, and 5 HP to his name as well. G2 have just absolutely torn this round out of the hand of North. And while Kierby is giving that control down towards B, there's nothing he can do with this. He can't get anywhere without making a noise. Has to either open a door, break a window, pop the vent. So which of the 3 horrible options will he take? Unless his vent's already broken, but someone's already watching it. So unless Kenny's like double scoped in, but I'm doubtful. Smith is watching it as well, and Kenny will get the kill. So G2, hey, they get a round out of nowhere.
What's the worst way you think you could butcher the pronunciation of Kierby's name?
While it's still being somewhat accurate.
Yeah, obviously.
Kajayabi.
I think, like, you just sounded like, maybe, like, I know, like Trace almost. No, I'd say, like, Kajerbai would be pretty bad.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, well, let's see what the young Kajerbai can do. That doesn't roll off the tongue half as well. Smith is found a flash daisy. He's just kind of stood there minding his own business.
Probably thought he was in the vents.
Yeah, that's always tough. We've all been there. Kenny trying to hold off this push down through Secret. He's going to back away into the vents himself. He's actually there this time. But North, they've ditched Secret. This is no secret either. They can hear the footsteps. They're outside, and they're running amok in the back line of G2, causing a ruckus. There's Shocks, by the way, shutting down Gade, one of the top performers for this North side in today's games. He's already been eliminated alongside AZ. Now looking towards Kierby and Valde to try and carve a path for the Danes back into this round. Only they're going to get sent back to the depths. It's Cadian and Valde left up, and they've got it all to do.
Yeah, Existence on this angle as well. Valde peeks from above, and he doesn't expect that off position. So now, pull back somewhat, and he may even catch Kenny S, who's looking to crawl out of these stairs. Oh, he's on the angle. Kenny gonna miss the flick, and that's a nice shot from Valde. He is saving this round for North right now in a 2v2. That's a big drop to lose a lot of health for. I'm not sure about the effectiveness of that. Cadian is down on B in the meantime, and this bomb can go down as G2 don't have anyone in the wings waiting. So Plant's here for North. But now G2, they're still focused on Heaven because they're scared of Valde potentially being up this upper position and coming in from this long flank. Certainly an option. Smith's even going as far to check the back of the site just to make sure Valde hasn't already dropped while they made some noise down on B. And this is a nice afterplant. We got the crossfire, we got Cadian above the door as well. Very hard position to clear. Valde doesn't even need to peek, so Cadian first line of defense. Body's not ready for that spot, and even though Smiths is there with a trade, he's actually caught Valde. He spots him going for the peek. Problem is the time. This round is already done. That's just a consolation kill. Smith does not have time for this defuse.
He's going to try and go for it. It's going to be down to the wire. And he actually does with milliseconds to spare. Perhaps even no seconds ever since they added that in. So you can defuse on that last tick now. So
completely ignore me.
Yeah.
That sounded unwinnable.
Smiths with balls of steel. And apparently, you know, nerves to match. 6-6, all tied up, Hugo.
The fastest fingers in the West of that defuse. Absolutely pulling wires left and right.
He actually does. You know, he can play the piano, Smiths.
Really?
If you know that. He's very talented at the piano. So let's wait and see. He's going to require those fast fingers once again here. He's not looking to play notes. He tries to actually play North like a fiddle. Instead, he's actually going to get shut down. Cadian and AZ finding frags between them. And now, if you want to talk about instruments more, it's been an orchestra of death with Cadian conducting the whole operation inside of this bomb site. Frags all going the way of North now. Suddenly, Existence trying to find something through that smoke. He's going to get Molotov'd out from main for the time being. So he has to try and approach this from a different angle. Well, Cadian and AZ left up. AZ does spot Existence there on that hot cross for the information. Now Existence tagged down so low, but a couple of missed shots from AZ means that he's still alive, still in with a chance. The only issue is the temptation now on the back of Existence's mind is just going to be to save and hold on to this M4. And he will succumb to the temptation as he backs away, walks into the waiting arms of Cadian. And he doesn't get a loving embrace. Instead, he gets a 7-6-2 round to the chest.
That's a big mistake from G2, right? They have the man advantage. They give North the bomb site. And then suddenly you see two players dive out of Heaven, and AZ and Cadian pick up a kill each. That's G2 trying to catch out North. But the problem is, because the smoke was down in main, Existence couldn't even help out. And so it's still two players pushing, but they're coming from the same spot. North just win both those battles, and boom, suddenly it's a man advantage to G2, flipped on its head. They could have easily won that round on the retake, and they know money shouldn't be a big problem here for North, considering we're coming into the latter stage of the half. Great shot from Existence, killing Cadian. And that shotgun is pushed into lobby as well, so Smiths has even taken a kill, but North still have the weaponry on these last three players that G2 are lacking. I don't want to say this isn't winnable for G2, because it certainly is, but with everyone giving up that A bomb site, even with these cool-off positions that some of G2 players hold, this is still not easy. Where the hell is Existence? He's just found a second kill with his P2K. Absolutely goblin angle down in this hell. Now Kierby tries to bail them, does kill Shocks, who picked up that rifle back from T-Roof that Smith's found with the shotgun. Now the bomb plant can come in here for North, and it's a very similar situation, but this time G2 very under-equipped.
Kenny charging on in, does find one with the alligator. Now all the pressure onto Kierby in a 1v2. Smiths Tag down so low. Oh, Kirby just looks away, and Smith's going to pick that up despite being tagged down low. It's 7-7. Split as even as you like down the middle at the end of this first half. Just one more round remains to decide who will be closing out this first half with a very, very slight advantage.
God, that's a near full eco for G2 just won.
Yeah.
Out of nothing.
You know, these French teams, they absolutely love a force buy, but sometimes they can get it done with just pistols, and that's fantastic when they manage that. Blows their minds. Here is Molotov's down as per usual. Denies the early play from North. They've been pretty willing to rush towards. Oh, Kenny caught all the way outside in the middle of yard. He's going to get dropped with PC-50 in hand. The AWP fallen as well. That can be retrieved by Cadian, who only has the Tech 9 into this round. AZ's going to find another, and G2, as good as they looked with only pistols, it's the rifles that have betrayed them now.
Oh, and Gabe watching for this push up as well. Smiths walks unknowingly to his death. And G2, only a couple of players left. I don't blame them for getting aggressive here. They need every kill they can get. Vivaldi on the AWP now. He is shutting this round down. Shox is gone. And Body doing his best to hold on to A as the Crabs crawl their way to main. Well, now they're standing at this, but Body's not. He's going to hit the floor. 8-7 here for North on the half, and considering that was T-side Nuke as well, that's a very, very strong half for them. Very worrying for G2, considering now they're moving into the tougher of the two sides. But again, like, they looked okay. We had some cool rounds from G2. We had some nice individual plays, so let's hope they've done some work, they've done some prep, and maybe they have something cool to show us on this terrorist half.
Yeah, I'd absolutely love for that to be the case. North, obviously, as we saw yesterday, fielded a very convincing, not even the right word, CT side versus NIP, picking up 13 rounds on it. So, you know, if you're G2, there's no denying this is still going to be an uphill battle. This is still going to be a struggle here for the French-Belgian roster. But anything is possible. That's the beauty of CS, Hugo. Anything can happen.
Can indeed. Like that.
Exactly. Sometimes a last-second defuse, a big play, maybe even a missed jump, a mistimed smoke or flash. That makes all the difference. That's what's so wonderful. North, over on this CT side, if that was a little bit quick for you, it was certainly a little bit too quick for me, but we did see, I think it was AZ top of the board for the North boys, along with Gade. Those two looking fantastic. And now we're going to be heading on into G2's T side. Taking a look at the buy, Hugo. It's just armor across the board. No utility as they try to fast play perhaps in towards this A bomb site. The one issue with this is you don't have the Molotov for the top of hut. And this is a very, very horrid position. But Gade looks away. He's given away this opening kill. Body finds the double. It's Cadian up in the heavens trying to turn things back around. But he falls short. And now G2 going to get this bomb down. Only Valde left up in a 1v4.
And that is not an easy round to win with no utilities creeping onto that A site. North not ready for that, I was about to say pace, but not even a fast pace, just a sneak into that bomb site. Valde does try and rectify this situation, but in a 1v3, a little bit too much to ask for. Body gets rid of him, and that is going to be 8-8. B-Stream update for you guys at home as well. We told you we'd keep you updated, and we didn't lie. 16-5 for Big on the first map up against Fnatic. That is a huge performance. Next, top fragging by a big margin as well. Second map is currently underway with Fnatic leading 13-10, so looking to bounce back and split that series, which we definitely would like to see. Again, Crims is on 22 kills right now, and Tabson is topping the charts for Big. So we'll keep you updated with how that one goes, but for now, even Stevens, Harry, these teams are neck and neck in Nuke. The only problem is North are on the CT side, and while they're giving away this one on the eco, they're definitely going to have a decent buy coming up soon. And that's going to be to the detriment of G2, who really want to try and steal a map away after getting pretty decimated on that previous of Inferno.
Well, they've certainly gotten off to a good start here, Hugo. Win themselves that pistol, now they're in with a shot here. Taking the lead back from the Danes. It's going to be a fast play in towards A. They want to try and make mincemeat out of these vanilla pistols. And, well, they shouldn't have too much of a trouble doing that, especially as North have left this A bomb site completely empty. Bomb can go down for G2, and if you're North, I doubt you even really want to go peeking into this and give much away to these SMGs.
But G2 already starting to find more and more kills It's only a matter of time here for North, especially with these two players back in the yard. Kenny might get backstabbed. Yeah, Valde's just going to run for it, and he does get a tag, but no kill. AZ doing the same, but Body is just going to pre-fire the corner, and that will be it. G2 9-8. And one of the positives, Harry, to take away from this is, like, G2, okay, now they're moving to the harder side, and T-side Nuke, definitely not easy. But this is a team that are relentlessly known for having very strong T-sides and then just completely dropping off in the second half. Now, the fact that they got 7 rounds CT does bode well for G2, because that is, you know, they didn't even get that on Inferno, right? They got 7 rounds T-side Inferno and then ended 16-8 or 16-9, something like that. It's a pretty brutal loss. So, yeah, 16-8. So, there's always that to be positive about. Even though this is a hard T-side to play, they have the rounds to fall back on. With the round lead here, we have the buy from North, Cadian on that AWP outside. Where is Kiebi? He's pushed up as well. He's actually inside of main, so nothing too special. He's going to be waiting for this push to come through.
Jade. Back, picks up Smith's Kiebi now chiming in with another. That's the bomb dropped as well. Oh, onto the Mac 10. Quick trade out.
Oh my god.
Like that lobby scene from the Matrix, just throwing these guns away. And that will be North picking up a 9th round very, very quickly. Hugo, you ever watch the Matrix?
I actually haven't. And I know that's a very controversial thing to say. There's a lot of films that I just haven't seen that I really know I need
seen,
to. Oh god,
Shawshank Redemption?
No, I know you reference it all the time. You haven't either, Harry. I know you haven't.
I know I haven't.
So don't throw that at me.
What else? What other?
I haven't seen Pulp Fiction. There we go.
Oh no, you're just making this worse and worse.
Oh god, I'm a terrible human. I'm starting to catch up. I'm starting to catch up.
21 years.
Just watching Counter-Strike, man. Watching loads of Counter-Strike.
That's fair enough. We can forgive you, Hugo, if that's the case. But can never forgive you for stealing my diamonds. Here comes the push outside. G2 going to be throwing down the wall of smokes. It's an old Minecraft meme.
Okay.
From back in the day. Here is the push outside. Kiebi, we saw him do this yesterday, but this time G2, they're ready. They've got their Kiebi sensors on. They spot him out in the front line. They've shut him down. Man advantage taken here for this G2 squad, and they continue to barrel through outside. But will they be ready for AZ? There's a gap in this smoke, and he's a slender man. He's slipped on through, but Kenny has shut him down. Kenny is the real slender man, by the way. Just reappearing in the back line of the enemy and shutting them down left and right. North now a 3v5, but they do still have this AWP up on Cadian.
Yeah, Kenny's very tall right now. He's high in the sky, as you can see. But back to the A site, G2 definitely have their eyes primed and ready for this part of the map. There are 2 players here. Cadian's lurking around the hell spot as well, so he can rotate back up if these 2 players don't just get absolutely shredded. That is a good Molotov. That's going to be really annoying. Gade has to give away his position with a smoke down, and Valde, he might get aggressive, but he doesn't want to turn his back open to main, because here's the push. Valde gets one, an instant trade. They know Gade's in this corner as well, so Cadian has to bail him out, and he does a fantastic job of exactly that. With 10 seconds left, G2 punching the final bullets as the bomb goes down as well, and that will be it. 10-9 for G2. Starting to run away with his T side, Harry.
Yeah, they're ahead. Up 10-9. And now, there just isn't a lot of money left for North. The tactical pause is going to be called on in from G2. That's just mind-blowing. They win the round.
That's a hard reset.
Yeah, that is. The hardest kind of reset. The worst kind.
What is?
I don't know, that kind, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that, mate. G2, looking good, though.
Yeah, this is not what I expected in this map,
not
right?
one bit, right? I wasn't. I don't know. I don't know. Like I come into this, you know, we know it's not even that I think G2 are going to be bad at this. We just know how good North have looked.
Yeah, and again,
how
it's
G2
like,
have looked so inconsistent.
It's a classic case of like there's nothing. There's not one bit of information to suggest that G2 is going to win this game. They have never played this map with this roster in the last 3 months. They played it once, ever, as this roster, and that was a game they lost online. No, sorry, they won it online to Envy. I don't even know. Like it's a mess. Their track record is not good. Oh, sorry. I'm wrong by saying they haven't played it. They have played it, but they've never won it. Is what I mean when I say they haven't
I
played
think they played it like 4 times.
Yeah, sorry,
they've
never
lost
won
every time. One of the times they lost to North. It's wild. The adventure that we're on. I think the other 2 losses are to Mouse Sports and then, I don't know, some other team. I know 3 out of 4. That's impressive enough. But here we go. push towards outside, Hugo. G2 going to be creeping on down to anti-eco down as Jade... Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Get a bit worried, get a little bit worried here, but it's just Kierby left up now. Thankfully, Kenny and Existence save us from having to watch these vanilla pistols pick up around. G2, 11-9. They get this one secured just in the nick of time. And now the buy comes in for North. They might be just fine.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Let's see what we have here. AWP Arcadian. He had a really nice try at trying to bail North out of that round just a couple ago, but Kenny's having a bit of a wild performance as well. It's actually Smith's top of the board for his team alongside Kenny. Not what I expected. Especially considering Smith was the bottom in the server last map. It's a real turnaround for him. Early setup in the lobby for G2. They've got no one outside as well, so luckily enough for them. Because Cadian's got his sights trained on the yard with that AWP. Oh, that's a miss smoke. That's, yeah. It's like my throwing. Smiths, nice entry. AZ on top of the hut, only going to get one. No Molotov needed for G2. They're there with the trade. Valdi's still up in the heaven doing damage though, and Kierby's crept in through main. Shox is here in the corner, so Kierby, I think he has a bit of a realization, and he can cut off this bomb crossing because it's yet to be picked back up, and Kenny's going to go retrieve it from the lobby. Kierby pushes, and this is so dangerous. Unless he checks this corner, this can go very wrong, and he does, dropping back into the vents and giving himself a second chance at life. Shox has killed the man in heaven in the meantime, and now it is the 2v2 here for North.
Yeah, bomb plant going to come in. It's Shox and Kenny, two of the names that we often look to be the powerhouse within G2 with this bomb planted. Kierby and Cadian left in the retake, and this smoke now going to start to dissipate. They try and push on in, but Kenny, homing in his sights on this position, has shut down Kierby, and on the back of it, likelihood is he shut down any hope of a retake here for North. Cadian going to back away, and that will be a 12th round on the board now for G2. Once again, that reset going to be coming in for the North boys. Things are heading south here on Nuke. G2, they're going to move up 12-9, 3 rounds between them and the Danes. No money for North to invest into this next round either.
This is crazy, Harry. And it's not like, you know, like G2 are playing well. They're hitting their shots, are going for nice executes. North are kind of just getting overwhelmed by very, very simple stuff, right? We've not seen many complex strategies from G2. They just kind of pushed out through hut and found like 2 kills, and it's been the mid-round calling and the clutch scenarios for G2 that has really got them this far, right? It's been these 2v2s, these 3v3s, where they just made really sound calls, and North not able to get back into these bomb sites. Oh, Cadian though, he wants to turn the tide of battle. He is that solo AWP in this round, so it's very important that he tries to open things up. That bomb's dropped in the lobby, and AZ, he's hunting for it. Good flashbang does take down body, with the shots following up. We've even got another man in the radio room. He's going to get pressured. Valdi finds a shot as Gate runs in to retrieve the gun. Smith goes down from the heavens, and Existence is all that remains here for G2. This round makes no sense. No armor apart from Cadian, and they don't even lose a player.
I don't know. I don't know, Hugo. I don't know how to summarize that one for you. But it happened. And sometimes you just got to deal with that fact. G2. Now they've got to try and not let the round get to them too much here, right? You're going to be 12-10 up still. You still have a lead. You still have a little bit to work with in this round. Admittedly, not much. They've gone for a buy here. I think, maybe it's equally justified just taking an eco, something along those lines, because it's not like you've got North's economy at breaking point. They keep that round, as you say, incredibly clean, considering that Cadian was really the only man with anything. And now, even if G2 find, 3 or 4 kills in this round, buying's still not an issue. That economy's still going to be there for North. So really, we need to see this pay off, or else G2 are going to be in a very risky spot. North pick this round up. Suddenly, you're onto an eco if you're the Frenchman. And then North is straight back into this game. And then that's when they're going to be most terrifying.
This is the value of, despite the 3 kills that G2 got in a row prior to that eco win from North, the North making the rounds close, bringing them down to the 2v2s, the 1v1s. So G2's money really is in a dire spot, and they've got to win this round. Otherwise, North are nipping at their heels and potentially back in the game with a lead as well. Cadian's already kicked things off. He's taken down Existence in the yard. We've got this G2 push on the B bomb site. Smokes to cover off this door. Neither of those smokes landing. It's more for the plant here. They actually bounce off the floor there. Easy getting flashed, but he won't Get blinded, looks away from that. Pops himself into this lower hallway, but we have a two-man setup here and not even needed. Smith is the only man to be challenged, and he gets away with full HP. G2 now with a man advantage in this round is looking done and dusted. North, they're going to have to pick up the broom and, well, get out of this round because G2, they've swept it under their feet with pistols.
And that's exactly what we needed to see from G2. This is shaping up to be a very interesting game indeed. They're certainly going above and beyond our expectations of them here, as they will be picking up a 13th, edging ever so close to a scenario in which they split the series with North tonight. And then crucially, even there at the end, they find that frag onto Katie, and that's the AWP removed. And now you look over at this buy for North, and yeah, tactical pause called in. I think justifiably so. They can get a buy together in this round. That's not the problem. They have the money. They can get everything they need. They can even get the AWP. I think it was...
Cadian.
Well, Cadian has the money, but so does Valde.
Oh.
I think, you know, you want Valde maybe to drop the AWP over, and then Cadian grab extra utility as a result, and then also drop a rifle over to someone else on the team. But regardless, the issue isn't this round, it's the following round. If they lose this one, it all kind of, you know, builds up and makes this round so important for the North guys. Really, their future, their fate within this matchup comes down to the fate of this one round.
Yeah, it can lose them the game. This one round can lose them the game, so it can't be underselling that. And considering G2 have everything they need after winning another round where they had 3 rifles and 2 pistols. Nice shot from Cadian. He started things off strong here in the yard. G2, they don't have the full smoke cover down, and Cadian going to be able to pick one apart in through the gap. Kiebi dies to Kenny S in the meantime, and look at this flank up through the heaven. Shox has climbed up above. Was anyone watching the rafter? Cadian's down below, so he's certainly not. No one's here looking at that heaven position. Gade is going to be opened for the taking. Shox playing this so carefully. And he's clearing out all of the A site. He needs to tell his team to set up. He doesn't even need to force his kill just yet, because right now North don't know that this A site belongs to G2. The second that Shox pulls that trigger, this is their round, or their site at least. And he is just taking his damn time. Gade is gone, and there's the A site open for business.
Yeah, Shox wasn't able to spot anyone else out, but I still don't think they're entirely knowledgeable as to where he was. You can see Valde peeks up and gets brought down to his knees as well. 3-on-3, and I think North at this point just go for a save. They're not really a team that like to push the boat out and go for these sort of retakes anyway. They do prefer to play a much more conservative style, especially Cadian. And he's been the real kind of the man opening up this round for North. So yeah, indeed, they're going to back away and look to try and save, keep what they've got into this following round, but it's going to be 14-10 now. G2 1 round away from match point here on Nuke. And it was a pretty good CT side from them. It's been an even better T side.
That doesn't make sense.
Why have we seen G2 play this more?
Yeah, it makes sense in the argument that, okay, like G2 are a very good T-sided team, so that's one thing, but not like on Nuke. That's just crazy to see them pulling this off against a team that we know is so good at this map. A Danish team, Harry. Danes love a bit of Nuke. So let's see, 14-10, and North looking to revoke their Danish citizenship if they don't win this rifle round, maybe, because we've got a gun dropped over from Valde. Gade's going to be on an SMG. Everyone else is armed very well here for North, but G2, they have had no problems with economy in these final few rounds. Cadian not going as aggressive as usual to peek in deep into that squeaky position. We'll drop down towards B instead, which is peculiar, because there's been no wall of smokes outside. There's been no outside control from G2, so it's not like he needs to peek up from secret with this AWP, but maybe just looking to put more players on the bomb site rather than actually control this yard. However, that gives the option for G2 to do what Shox did in the previous wrap heaven. But I don't think North are going to be leaving that kind of gap in their defense today. We've got that back garage player in the form of Kiebi here, making sure that no one gets into any awkward positions. G2, I mean, we've not seen many, full smoke or Molotov setups on this A site, but this may be a bit of a different story.
Yeah, switching things up, doing a good job of keeping that kind of strap pool fresh. They throw out that incendiary. That's going to go ahead and land up on top of the hut and does force any players that were there off of it. It's normally Gade who plays up in that position. He's now had to hop on down, and you can see holding close. It feels a bit claustrophobic, a little bit cramped inside of this A-bomb site here. Gade holding this position. It's kind of great for a one and done, but really he shouldn't be able to get too much more than that. He doesn't want to risk crossing as well in case there are players there. He does get the information that's clear for the time being, but he's going to get annihilated by Shock. Still easy doing what he can, but he gets toppled as well. That's the A-bomb site well and truly opened up. Katie and Avalda left alive. And I mean, they love to save over on this north side, but this is a round where really you almost can't justify it. They're going to try and see if they can spot anything, but no, G2, they're going to be picking up a 15th here. As North grind to a halt, they look to try and hold on to this AK and AWP into the next round. And if you're G2, you're going to be hunting these players down.
It's a round where North don't want to save, you're right, but it's not like they can just run in through main and go, oh, let's give it our best. That's a you know, a madman's wish. They stay outside of the site to see if G2 give away any kind of free kills to tempt North into going for this. And Valde will get one on the exit, but that's just called the dinner bell, and Kenny's hungry for that kill. He'll get it. And yeah, like you said, that position from Gade close to Hut, that was a one and done spot, but man, he would have been happy with a one and done. They didn't even push through Hut. They went for a full squeaky wrap, and that is so unlucky for him. Not able to get anything done, really, really open. And even though the player on the site, I think it was Kiebi, no, not Kiebi, because Kiebi was playing Garage, but the player on the site checked Hut for him, and that's when maybe Gade, you could argue, should have pushed into Hut and played from inside of the lobby rather than actually sit out in the open, because once that squeaky wrap came in, he's dead. He's out in the open.
That's still one of the issues with that whole situation. You know, the Molotov that Shox actually threw in to force Gade into that position. He's anticipating that there's already someone in Hut, keeping an eye, you know, watching for the drop. He was very worried about pushing on into it. He didn't want to go running into the Hut in case he does get taken down.
Smith's did, not Smith, sorry, but someone did see 3 players leave Squeaky. Like that's and at that point you should be pushing Hut maybe, because you know, like 3 outside of Squeaky, you're literally sitting in the middle of the site. You have nothing. You have an MP5. If there was a time to push Hut, that would be it. But either way, I mean, it's a small detail in a round that probably wouldn't make too much difference because G2 just slapped North back anyway. And this has been a few rounds in a row now to start to really curb the enthusiasm and economy on this north side. Double FAMAS, UMP, MP5, that one AWP that's been a bit of a light in a dark situation, but not enough to win North the game here. G2, what a surprise this has been, and they are 1 round away from making this happen.
Yeah, that is going to be utterly fantastic if they manage to win this now. Especially when you take into account how good North looked on this map just yesterday versus NIP. 13-2 half from them on their CT side, ending the game 16-9, but now maybe about to get bested by G2 here on Nuke. A staple map within Danish CS as well. So, certainly not an easy feat on behalf of the Frenchman. Valde has opened up and he has deleted Shox. That's now an AK that can be retrieved here. And for the first time in a long time, North going to be sporting a man advantage. I'm curious to see how G2 try and play in response to this. This time, there's no incendiary to force AZ out of position. Kierby going to chime in with one more, and Smiths now alone, left in a 1v4, does win that first fight, but surely doesn't win anymore. He's on 12 HP and only has 25 seconds left.
He may be one of the top fraggers in the server, but he's not going to be able to win that clutch, and unsurprising. Nice round from North to finally get back into the swing of things, Harry, but it has been so long since we've seen that. G2 have been all over this T side. The last 3 rounds prior to that were theirs. B-Stream update for you guys as well. Fnatic, big, 15-15 right now on Overpass. Overtime bonanza going on there. Everyone loves it. We've had a lot of overtimes already today. And big, looking to 2-0 that one. Fnatic trying to bounce back and split maps. What will happen? But we'll keep you updated, because right now, G2, they are looking to close out their own game. And 1 round away from doing so, but Gade doesn't want to give them that option. 2 frags from him. Nice split from body, perfectly timed. There's a man on top of the rafters as well, and Gade is still sitting here in position. AZ's even killed body. And that bomb is out in the open as Existence has to bail his team out from a very, very unfortunate spot. You can see the leg. He's not going to shoot it, though. I think Gade's foot was just sticking over the edge there, but maybe Existence didn't realize.
Now, 3 rounds between North and G2 and making this comeback happen. We know that North love an overtime. We saw that yesterday in their games versus Na'Vi. They're looking to try and haul their way back into this game tooth and nail. This round is just going to be pistols out for G2. So a good chance at North finding themselves a 13th. All goes to plan. Kirby, big fan of following the plan. This man has opened up with one, Cadian and AZ. Now going to chime in with a little bit more, and it is just Smiths and Kenny S left alive. 2v5. No point in even trying to stay alive. Instead, we just go ahead and give this up.
Oh, meaty.
Well, sometimes you need a little bit more than just a meaty shot to win a round, Hugo. You need about 5 of them. 13 to 15 now. 2 rounds between these two teams. That gap is slowly but surely getting whittled down for G2. They're going to be able to get a bye together here. There's no bye for them in the next. So a loss in this round, that's a force. And then that could very well be the key to North unlocking OT here on Nuke. Tactical timeout called in for G2. They know the pressure's on. They know that they have this massive advantage, but it's getting stripped away from them. You know, quite soon, they're no longer going to be in the driving seat anymore.
And North know that this is definitely still a winnable game for them. This is the longest streak they've had on the CT side so far. 3 rounds in a row. 1 more, as you said, to break the economy of G2 again, to put them on, while max loss bonus, but also a force buy for that last round of the half. With no bomb plant, that can be a problem. And typically on Nuke, bomb plants are usually converted to round wins. Similarly to Inferno, one of those very difficult maps to retake. But let's see, because we have another buy here for both. No AWP here for G2. That's more money than anything, but they've got 5 AKs either way. Body going to fast play that yard. Molotov cuts him off, but his smoke is still down. He can still try and make a cross after that. AZ's made his way down in the vents, but he's taking some damage on his way, and he's going to have to watch down for this lower bomb site, because G2, as we said, the smokes are down this time, properly placed. No gaps for Cadian to exploit with his AWP. G2 are in the lower bomb site. It's been a long time since we've seen anyone down on B here.
Cadian and Gade going aggressive. Smiths is holding this angle, but just gets caught out. And now Kenny going to miss the timing on the trade. Kirby, he mows down 2 outside, and suddenly Body and Kenny S left to keep G2 in this game. Body going to manage 1. Still has even more to do, and Cadian there shuts him down. It's Kenny S. 1v4 required here. It'll be an absolutely monstrous clutch. Well, there's the first kill. Valdet does get trampled by Kenny. Still has more work yet to do. 35 seconds to do it in, and if there ever was a man up to the task, it is going to be Kenny S.
Problem is going to be the time. It's really ticking out of his hands. North all poised up on this A bomb site with 2 or 3 their 3 remaining players, and so much utility left. This should be impossible for Kenny. Cadian's even got the crossfire established back from this vent, and Kenny's going to begin to creep in. There's Gade in the open. That's a free kill. Does Kenny check the corner? Yes, he does. Cadian's missed his shot. Kenny's got 9 seconds up, and he's found a second kill as well. He's on the bomb plant now. 5 seconds as that bomb gets down on the site, and AZ coming up through the vents. He may be giving this one away, and Kenny's done it. G2 going to win the map, all off of 1 player, and that was such a crucial round. If Kenny doesn't win that one, we're going to see G2 on a 4, so what an incredible clutch to drag G2 over the line.
Absolutely phenomenal stuff there from Kenny. Yes, and as you say, that's G2 winning this out. They split the series 1-1. And, you know, just fantastic stuff. We're going to bring back in Trace and Chad as they attempt to break this one down with us. How do you find that, Trace?
Yeah, you know, G2, more like GG, am I right, guys? Anyway, yeah. So we got Chad over here ready to break something down on the side of Nuke. Wasn't my best work, but that's completely fine. Chad, what do you got for us,
I got
man?
one for the casters as well. Next time when Kenny's doing something phenomenal like that, yes, 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 Kenny, yes.
Or we.
No, less of that, more of this. Now, there's a round in this game that I want to break down. It was North battling back off of one saved AWP. We can just take a quick look right here. Saved AWP in the hands of Cadian, a smoke grenade on Kirby. This is going to be instrumental, and that flashbang. All of these 3 pieces of weaponry and utility play into this round, where you can see a full buy coming in from that of G2. Now, let's play this one out. Cadian is going to grab a pick through the squeaky door. What does that allow? His teammates with the pistols to push on through. He's going to throw a flashbang in. They're going to push in off of that. They're going to find a secondary kill on a completely blind opponent. Let's pause in a second. Right now, you can see the smoke. You can see this line is dribbling through. This smoke is actually going to land and block off the entrance to the lobby. At this point, let's play her out. They're going to be able to put more pressure on the players who are now still residing in lobby, and that's going to be the man towards ramp. He's going to be pushed. He's going to be swarmed. He's going to go down. They're going to find another big kill because they're trying to mitigate. They're trying to, really see if they can salvage this lobby push. It's all over. It falls apart, and a great little innovation on the fly there from North. Unfortunately, the game wasn't theirs. We saw it get closed out by Kenny with that big 1v4 performance. Trey Stunner-Saranthus, what do you think about that one?
I think Kenny S is the man with the plan at least 90% of the time, but always above 50%, Chad.
So somewhere in the 50 to 90% range.
Yes, there's quite the margin for error, but it would appear as though he plays faster than his opponents, and that's what you can do in your favorite social medias, is use hashtag play faster, Chad.
Well, that's not a bad point at all, but I think in this one, another good point for this of G2 taking the victory was they got both pistol rounds. That's quite a fantastic thing when you're looking on a map like Nuke. In the first half, they were able to convert, I think it was 4 rounds off the back of that, so that means that they won the pistol, the other team took a save. The gun round came in, so they'd won that nice gun round there. They played the rotation on top of the hut with that auto shotgun was body, I believe. And they take another eco. So actually, in that 4-round stint, they've won against 2 eco rounds, right? You have to consider this. I thought we wanted the game to be more competitive with this change, Trace.
But here's the real question I got for you, Chad. What do you have to say about G2 now that they have secured this second victory at least?
I think it's positive to see them adding more maps to their pool. The fact is they did have some decent T-sides. Kenny had to bail them out there towards the end when things did get dicey. But we don't actually have Nuke on record for these guys at all. It means it's something that they've been working on as a team because the Danes are normally known to be quite a fierce opponent on this type of map. You just have to go over to the stat page for this G2 roster. You can take a look at the maps that they have played with this core 5, with this new team. And Nuke is definitely not one of their higher played maps, that's for sure. They've only played it 6 times in total. They've only won it once, lost it 5. So this one will add to that. 2 wins on Nuke now.
So if you were a betting man, you would say, like you did, where you guessed that G2 would lose. It was rightfully so.
We have to just look at to sit in the practice servers and see everything going down like that, Trace. So yes, you are correct.
Well, Chad, one thing we can talk about at least with North was some of the stat lines over there. Because, I mean, we did just look at the numbers, and it would appear as though AZ put some pain on them. However, it wasn't enough. And perhaps I want to ask you now at this point, what could they be doing differently going forward?
I think they found themselves in a lot of reset situations. They found themselves having to take a lot of ecos on that CT side, but they did get a nice stint there towards the end. If they didn't collapse and they didn't lose that 1-on-4 situation to Kenny, we would have found ourselves in overtime, and they probably could have taken that game, because once they got the economy going, once they had all the pieces of the puzzle in the right place, North were looking fantastic. It's just you can see how easy the kingdom can crumble when a player like Kenny and people are missing shots in a 1-on-4 situation like that. There was only 9 seconds left when he made that second last kill. So he's, not put a lot of pressure on himself in that scenario, and he's got away with one there, and that is what clutch Counter-Strike's all about.
That's what Counter-Strike is all about, Chad. Yeah. And it's also about the B stream. So perhaps you pull that up real quick, and I'm going to entertain the viewers with some interpretive dance. No, I'm not going to be doing that. We're going to take a look at the numbers as they lie. Chad, give me the B stream update.
So I guess the exciting one here is Big actually 2-0ing the likes of Mousesports, who we did think looked good since the reintroduction of Stiko and Snacks getting put to that bench. And they were able to keep that going with another victory over Fnatic on Train. But right now, if you flick that bad boy over, you can probably catch the tail end of Overpass, as they are in overtime right now.
Well, that's a pretty expensive bench. $300,000 bench.
Well, yeah, I think it's made of like diamonds.
Yeah, it would have to be at that point. Either way, we're ready for a break, and I'm pretty sure you are too. We've got 2 more maps for you tonight. It's going to be Astralis and Heroic squaring it off, making it rounded, and of course, photoshopping the hell out of this one. We've got a banger coming up. It is going to be on Dust 2 and Nuke, so make sure you're here with us, because we're coming right back.